LazySQL is a terminal-based database client, and there are other clients as well, but I like this one because it's minimal. It has Vim key bindings, and my use case for database clients is pretty minimal, so it gets the job done for me. Now I have this demo DB already saved, so I can connect to it with C. And once you're inside this, first you have the tree view on the left side, and I can expand it with E or enter, and then I can go up and down in the tables with J and K. I can go to the very bottom with capital G. I can go to the very top with G. I can press slash and then I can search for something, and I can go back and forth in the search results with N or P, and then I can collapse everything with C, and I can refresh this list with capital R. Now let's actually open a table. So now when you're here, in case you want to go back to the tree, you can press capital H and it will go to the left, and you can press capital L and it will go to the right. Inside here, you can open a SQL editor with Control E, and then you can type your queries in it. Although it's very rare that I have to type queries anymore, and you can run this with Control R, and you can go back to the editor with Control E, and then if you have a complicated query to write, you can also press Control space and it will open the NeoVim instance for you. And now you can use a full-fledged instance of NeoVim to edit anything. Okay. The next thing is that in the home view, if you want to close a tab, for instance, I'm on the editor tab right now, I can escape out of it and then I can press capital X and it will close it. You can press Control P when you are anywhere in the interface, and then you can search the tables directly. So you don't have to first go to the tree view and then search. Okay, now inside this table, you have a few things. So for instance, if you want to see a row in a JSON format, you can press capital Z and it will show you the row in JSON format. And if you want to see a particular cell in JSON format, so I don't have any JSON cells here, but if there was, it will show up in a JSON format, and the normal cells will also show up in a JSON format with small z. Now I know that there can be too many columns sometimes, so how to deal with that? There are three ways to do it. First, you can make it small. Yeah, but that's not a good thing to do for your eyes. The second way is to hide this sidebar. So I can press capital S and it hides the sidebar and I have a little more room. But the best thing is to actually use the sidebar. So the sidebar gives you a vertical view of one row, the row that you're currently on, and you can press S, go back and forth in the rows, and you can press S again to go to the sidebar. And now there are not many columns, but if there were, you would have been able to see many more columns than you can see in the main view. And in this also, you can press capital G to go to the bottom, you can press G to go to the top, and you can toggle between the side view and the main view with S. Now, when you're inside this, you can go back and forth with H and L, up and down with J and K. That much is obvious, but you can also use W and B, although I just prefer H and L. You can go to the end with $sign. You can go to the beginning with 0. And you can sort these. So, for example, if I want to sort the order item ID, I can press capital J and it sorts them in descending order. And then I can press capital K and it sorts them in ascending order. Then you can press O to create a new row. And let's say that this is 4, and then this is 24, and then this is 2, and then this is 25.99. Okay, now you have this change there, and the changes are being stacked. You can execute them all at once, or you can commit them all at once. The next thing you can do is press capital O to duplicate a row. Now we should change this, otherwise you will have unique constraint failure. What else you can do? You can come here and press C to change any row. Let's do 100. And also, if you want to set something as empty or null, you can do it with capital C. So it will give you options like this. Now I can press E to keep it empty, or I can press N to keep it null. For now, we will just leave that. So now you made a change and now you want to commit these changes. Maybe you want to undo some changes as well. You can press Ctrl S and it will give you a list of the changes that you've done. And you can remove these two. So I can press D on this query and it's gone. I can press D on this query and it's gone. And now these queries are fine. So I can execute them, or I can also copy the queries for some reason if I want to with Y. I can execute them with Ctrl S and they're done. So this is our 100. The next thing is that if you have a bunch of tables opened up, let me open all of them. Okay. Then you can go back and forth in the tabs with square brackets, and you can go to the very first one with curly brace and the very last one with closing curly brace. And the other thing is that you can, whenever you have a cell selected, you can copy it with Y. If you have the whole row being shown up as a JSON, you can copy it with Y as well. So if you see, now I have this whole thing in my clipboard. You can press question mark at any point of time to get a full list of key maps. You can search in these key maps as well. And the only thing that I miss here is that in the editor, you do not get autocomplete. That is the only thing that I miss from DataGrip.